Meetings that don't have a clear focus or clear outcomes can be a real turnoff when you're organizing your community.
This is a world.
This is a world premiere.
This is a world.
So hey, welcome to the next installment of Organizing for Beginners. Today, we're going to talk about effective meeting facilitation. The facilitator is the person who encourages everyone to stay on task, encourages participation, and ensures that things go as planned. And if things are going to change, which is okay, just to make sure that everybody is on board with whatever changes are occurring during the course of the meeting. So the one thing that you're going to make sure that you do as a facilitator is set an agenda for the meeting and to share that agenda ahead of time with anybody who is going to be attending the meeting. If you can't share the agenda in advance, like when you've invited a general audience to the meeting, what you want to do is go over the agenda to make sure that what's on it is in keeping with the goals of the group. Build time into that agenda to check in with everyone, to report on progress, to review key ideas, and to take a look at what your next steps are going to be. Also, if it's possible, build some time into your agenda for people to just speak freely. And you also want to build some time into your agenda towards the end of the meeting for people to just give some feedback on how they felt the meeting went. Let the group know exactly what you need from them at this meeting and keep encouraging towards that outcome. Do you need to share important information, teach a new skill, brainstorm new ideas, make an important decision about something, or get feedback on an action that was already taken? Set expectations for engagement during the meeting. Setting expectations is just a way to make sure that everybody is comfortable during the meeting. Some typical expectations are one mic, aka one person speaks at a time, arrive on time and leave on time, put away your phone and other devices, ask clarifying questions, practice nonviolence. Check the description box below for more details on any of the expectations that I've already described. Expectations are also called group norms or group agreements. You'll find more resources for those in the description box below as well. You can also learn more about setting group norms and group agreements and group expectations by searching online. You might also want to establish some roles for people who are attending the meeting. At the least, you want to have somebody who's taking notes. You might also want someone who's keeping time. If you have a really large group, you might someone keeping a stack or keeping track of who wants to talk next. Some facilitators practice something that's called a progressive stack, and that is ensuring that people who historically have not had a voice in a community or not had a voice in a group, pushing those voices towards the front, and people who talk a lot or generally have a large platform, moving those people a little bit more towards the back. You want to capture ideas during your meeting somewhere where people can see them. So if you have a whiteboard or a blackboard or big post-it notes where you can write down legibly and in letters big enough for everybody to see, so that those key ideas are always there for people to reflect back on. Jack, some things to watch out for during your meeting. Watch out for people who dominate the conversation, and what you might want to do is just structure your meeting so that everybody gets a turn to speak. Watch out for people repeating the same thing over and over. If an idea has been repeated more than once or twice, you might want to just check in with the whole group to see how everybody feels about that idea, and then make sure that you put it on that board so that everybody can see that it's something that's already been discussed. Watch out for hostility in your group. You might want to check out my video on nonviolent communication. I'll also include some resources in the description box below on how to address conflicts. So typically, if I'm facilitating a meeting, I will start the meeting on time with a check-in with whoever's there. It gives people an opportunity to focus in on each other and kind of start getting their heads out of whatever it was that they were doing before they got to the meeting. Also, if people arrive late, it gives them a chance to come in without missing any of the crucial information. After about 5 or 10 minutes of check-in, I will review the agenda with the group just to make sure everybody is clear about everything that's on it, make sure that no one feels that there's anything crucial that's missing, or that anything has been put on the agenda that's no longer relevant for whatever reason. I get some volunteers who will keep time and take notes. We'll get a progress report on anything that was tasked at the previous meeting and see if there is any support that those individuals need in order to complete those tasks. Now for each item on the agenda, review what that item is about and make sure everybody is clear. Then take whatever action is needed on that item. Is it building consensus or brainstorming or getting feedback? Make sure you give everybody a chance to be heard. Stick to the time that was allotted for each item on the agenda or get permission from the group if more time is needed. Table any items that you discover are too complex to cover in a single meeting. Rinse and repeat. Once all the items have been discussed, I like to get some general thoughts from the group, and I build in time in the agenda for this. Review any action steps that were talked about during the meeting and ask the people who are taking the responsibility for those things if they need any support from the group. Also make sure that they have a due date for each of those tasks. I usually like to say the next meeting. Schedule the next meeting with input from the group. Let people know when they can expect follow-up. I like to end with an opportunity for people to talk about the value that they got from the meeting and to say what they feel has been accomplished. Thank people for their work and remind them of how important it is. Make sure you repeat the next meeting, date, time, and location, and encourage everyone to be there. The Anti-Oppression Resource and Training Alliance offers a facilitating resource sheet, which I'll include a link to in the description box below. What do you expect from a meeting? What have been your experiences in meetings? If you have questions or thoughts about it, join me on Sunday for my live stream on YouNow, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Information in the description box below. That's it for this video. Like it if you like it. Share, comment, subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourself. Peace.
And I love myself.